Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you Colfax High School Viking Girls Basketball. Tonight, the 3-2 Colfax Vikings, who are 2-0 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, are getting ready for more Dunn-St. Croix Conference play as they take on the unbeaten at 6-0 Elk Mound Mounders, who are also 2-0 in the Dunn-St. Croix. Now, the Vikings are coming off a 76-44 dominating win over the Spring Valley Cardinals on Tuesday, while the Mounders are coming off a 59-30 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs, also on Tuesday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Mounders and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Then we'll take a quick look around the Dunn-St. Croix Conference to see where things stand as the conference season gets into full swing. Following that, we'll send it out to Elk Mound High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we are getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game between the unbeaten Elk Mound Mounders and the 3-2 Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are coming off a 76-44 victory over the Spring Valley Cardinals on Tuesday, while the Mounders kept their undefeated record intact by knocking off the Boyceville Bulldogs 59-30 also on Tuesday. Now, in that win over Spring Valley, the Vikings played with high energy throughout the game and were able to get some meaningful playing time for the entire Viking roster. Now, leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was junior Bryn Sikora, who hit on 8 field goals, including going 3 for 4 from beyond the three-point arch, as well as hitting on 2 of 2 attempts from the charity stripe for 21 points.
He's at Hajdukovic, then back out to Sikora, who put in the 3.
She was followed by junior guard Jordan Bovey, who nailed 8 field goals and went 4 for 5 from the free throw line for 20 points.
Cora at the top of the key. Feeds it to Bovey, lays it up and puts it in. Backdoor cut by Bovey, and they found her.
Junior Sierra Shipman hit on 3 field goals, 2 of which were 3-pointers, and made 4 of her 6 free throw attempts for 12 points.
Gets it over to Shipman from the left corner. 3-pointer for Sierra Shipman.
Shipman also led the team in rebounding by pulling down 8 boards. She was followed by Bovey and Clara Hajdukovic, who grabbed 7 and 6 rebounds respectively. Tonight, the Vikings are continuing their Dunn-St. Croix Conference play by taking on the Elk Mound Mounders. Now, last season, the Mounders swept the Vikings by scores of 44-28 and 53-44. The Mounders are currently sporting an undefeated 6-0 record overall and are 2-0 in the Dunn-St. Croix. Elk Mound so far this season is being led by junior Allie Robel and senior Ellie Shizik. Robel and Shizik are each scoring nearly 13 points per game, with Shizik hitting on 33% of her shots from three-point land. Now, right behind are junior Isabella Kongshog and senior Allie Roeder, who are each adding over 10 points per game. On the boards, the Mounders are being led by Roble as the 5'11 junior is grabbing over 11 rebounds per game. The Vikings so far this season are being led in scoring by Jordan Bovey, who's shooting 80% from the floor and 60% from the free throw line while averaging nearly 18 points per game. She's being followed by senior Kason Goodell and Sierra Shipman, who are averaging over 12 and 10 points per game respectively. On the board, Shipman is leading the way, pulling down 8 rebounds per game, followed by Goodell, who's grabbing nearly 7. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. And Coach, in just a few minutes, the Vikings will be preparing to take on the Elk Mound Mounders. But before we get to that game, back on Tuesday, the Vikings defeated the Spring Valley Cardinals 76-44. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, we got off to a slow start. We had too many fouls in the first half, looking back at the film. But second half, I thought we did a really nice job. We distributed the ball well. We were able to score quite a few points in transition, and we actually shot the ball really well on Tuesday. So all good things, that I was able to see there. My only complaint is, and I talked to the girls, is we just have to have better help defense. Got to help with our feet and, not, put a hand on a back or just stick an arm in. And again, all things that we can fix.
Now, one of the benefits of a win like that is you got a chance to give some meaningful playing time to all of the players. Your comments about the performances of some of the girls that don't see a lot of floor time.
Yeah, like I kind of mentioned in my interview after the game is, Kason and Sierra got 2 fouls in the first half, and we had some younger kids, Addie, Lyric, Layla, they were all able to step up and play, a significant amount of minutes and did a great job. They played good defense. We were able to survive, the first half without those two. And sometimes, 2 starters are an essential role in your team, chemistry and that kind of thing. So to play that significant amount of minutes without them was a really good sign, I think, for our group, and that we're all just continuing to get better and take a step in the right direction.
You mentioned Lyric Nichols, and just as a passive observer, I've been kind of impressed with her. She doesn't put a lot of points on the board, but boy, oh boy, she finds a way to get open, be an open target for the ball, and to move the ball around. She moves well. For a young player like her coming in the way she does, I've been pretty impressed with the way she plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I told Lyric, there's a reason why there's, not a lot of freshmen, playing at a varsity level, especially in some of the teams that we play, so that she's able to go out there and hold her own is a compliment to her. She's a hardworking kid. She's still got a lot to learn, and she knows that. Just the intensity of playing in a game, at the varsity level is way different than what she's used to. So, we've definitely given her some grace, and as she figures that out, but she's going to play, quite a few minutes, and, we need her to be more aggressive. We need her to look for herself to score a little bit more and be, a scoring threat. So, but I know that she's going to continue to work hard and take the advice that she's given to keep getting better.
Well, and she must have been listening, because she put in a season high of, I think it was 5 points in this last game and nailed a 3. That's a good night for her.
Yeah, really good.
It seems as though the Vikings in that game were seeing opportunities at a high rate. For example, there were multiple occasions where Jordan Bovey would be cutting through the lane and they'd spot her and hit her with a pass and turned into points. And long outlet passes that led to points. Your comments about the visual abilities of the Vikings.
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job passing the ball. You know, we had a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, and anytime you do that, you're probably going to win. I was impressed with just our ability, you know, if we picked up our dribble to not panic. You know, we have a lot of kids who have just a really great floor sense and know when to cut and when to come up. And it's something that we've been working on. So I was happy to see that. And as far as, you know, the passes in transition, you know, we have a lot of kids who can handle the ball. And I like that they're thinking, you know, to go right away. So it was good to see that.
Now, those are skills you're going to need tonight because the Vikings are going to take on the Elk Mound Mounders, the undefeated Elk Mound Mounders, a team that's been an annual rivalry game as both teams are usually sitting near the top of the conference. Can you tell us about the Mounders and the challenges that they present?
Yeah, like you said, they're a really good team. They're well coached. They're very disciplined. They play hard. You know, a lot of really great kids. They're a confident bunch right now. They run their stuff well. You know, so we definitely have our work cut out for us. It's probably, you know, the toughest team that we've, you know, will have played as of yet. You know, we were still kind of trying to figure things out. You know, the first couple games, you know, they got pretty much everybody back. So they kind of know what works and didn't really have to spend some time, you know, looking for those, you know, where the point's going to come from, who's going to step up and defend, those kind of things. But I'm excited. Like you said, it's always a big game for our communities and the rivalry there since they're so close. You know, and it's always just a good basketball game. So I'm excited to head there and play. And, you know, in my heart of hearts, I believe that we can play with them. It'll take, you know, every effort that we have, and we can't afford to make many mistakes. Not that we have to play perfect, but, you know, against a good team, you can't, you know, make that consistent, you know, 3-4 mistakes in a row. You really have to keep it at one. And our ability to box and rebound is going to be a huge key to the game.
Now, the Mounders have 4 players that are averaging in double digits in scoring. Now, accounting for one player is one thing, but what do you do when you have 4?
Yeah, I mean, I think similar to us, they have a lot of kids who can just put the ball in the basket. So I've been challenging the girls to really take pride in their own individual defense and, you know, really take that to heart. But also that help has to be there as well. So we just really have to continue to work hard and do a good job.
Well, Coach Gerard, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully, the Vikings can find a way to overcome those Mounders and give them their first loss of the season.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The teams of the Dunn St. Croix Conference have all played 2 conference games going into tonight's action, and things are starting to sort themselves out. Now, taking a look at the results from Tuesday's conference play, we find the Vikings topping the Spring Valley Cardinals 76-44, while the Elk Mound Mounders defeated Boyceville 59-30. The Elmwood Plum City Wolves were trounced by the Durand, Arkansas Panthers 70-14, and the Mondovi Buffaloes defeated the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 72-31. Now that leaves the Dunn St. Croix Conference standings as follows. In a 3-way tie for first are the Mondovi Buffaloes, Colfax Vikings, and Elk Mound Mounders, who are all 2-0. In a tie for 4th place are the Durand, Arkansas Panthers with the Spring Valley Cardinals. Both teams are at 1-1 and 1 game out of 1st. At 0-2 and in a 3-way tie for 6th place are the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, the Boyceville Bulldogs, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Those 3 are 2 games off the pace. Now tonight, the Dunn St. Croix Conference continues conference play. In addition to the Vikings traveling to Elk Mound to face the Mounders, we find the Durand, Arkansas Panthers making the journey to Glenwood City to face the Hilltoppers. The Elmwood Plum City Wolves will take on the Boyceville Bulldogs in Elmwood, while the Mondovi Buffaloes will play host to the Spring Valley Cardinals. Now tonight, the Vikings have their work cut out for them as they face the unbeaten Elk Mound Mounders. In those 6 victories, the Mounders were all with a double-digit point difference. The Vikings will need to bring their in-your-face defense as well as some accurate shooting if they hope to defeat the Mounders. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Elk Mound High School as we bring you all the action of tonight's girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Spring Valley Cardinals. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Girls Basketball is on the air.
Back over to Sierra Shipman. She spins at the top of the key, takes it into the lane, lays it up and puts it in. Sierra Shipman with her first 2 points of the night.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
And over to the left side to Jordan, lays it up and puts it in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings as they battle their way through the Dunn St. Croix Conference.
To Goodell from 3, she'd hit the 3.
And now, out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
And good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to Elk Mound High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow on the camera tonight, and we are expecting Jay Fall to come flying in here any moment as we're getting ready to bring you the closest thing we have to a crosstown rivalry between the Elk Mound Mounders and the Colfax Vikings. And we're going to turn over to the public address system for the national.
As the Elk Mound Mini Mounder Choir performs our national anthem. require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at education-based interscholastic events. We request your cooperation in supporting the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments or other intimidating or taunting actions will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please enjoy the game in a positive manner. For the safety of players, coaches, and referees, we ask that fans stay in the bleachers and do not cross in front of the benches or under the baskets during gameplay. Thank you for your cooperation. It is time to meet the Colfax Vikings. Senior number 4, Casey Goodell. Junior number 12, Jordan Holy. Junior number 30, Sierra Shipman. Junior number 34, Brent Sikora. And junior number 44, Clara Hudichek.
So there's the starting lineups for tonight's game, courtesy of the public address system. We'll go through those once again for you. For the Vikings, it's 5'6" senior guard Kason Goodell, then 5'6" junior guard Jordan Bovey, 5'6" junior guard Sierra Shipman, 5'7" junior forward Bryn Sikora, and 5'11" junior forward Clara Hajdukovic. For the Mounders, Allie Robo, she's a junior. Isabella Kongshog is a junior. Ellie Shizik is a senior. Allie Roeder is a senior. And Haley Meyer is a senior. Hajdukovic is jumping center for the Vikings and can't quite catch the number of who's in there for the Mounders. Ball goes up and the tip is controlled by the Vikings. Bringing the ball down the floor is Goodell, and her pass gets intercepted. That's by Roeder. She gets it off to the right side. That's over to Shizik. Shizik at the right or left elbow. Out to Robo, back to Shizik, then over to Roeder. Then they swing it over to the near side. That's Kongshog. Then back out to Roeder. Three-pointers on the way, no good. And the Vikings come away with the ball. Goodell with it. To Shipman on the right. Down into the corner. And then they get it back out to Goodell on the left side. Sikora has it. Out between the circles. Over to Shipman. Then to Goodell from 3. No, it's off the air. No good. Rebound gets battled for on the floor. And we're going to get a jump ball. Possession goes to the Mounders. No score with 17:01 remaining. Mounders have the ball, and Shizik brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side. That's Meyer. Ball gets tipped, and here goes Goodell. She lays it up, and she got fouled going up, and she's going to go to the line for 2.
Fouls on Elk Mound number 41, Haley Meyer, her first.
Haley Meyer with the foul. First foul on anybody. Kason Goodell at the line. First shot is up, it's good. And the second shot is on the way. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Meyer. Mounders have the ball. Shizik on the dribble. Brings it over to the near side. That's Roeder. Shizik has it now out at the top of the key. Brings it over to the near side. Takes it back to the top of the key. Feeds it over to Konshog. Then to Roeder. To Shizik. Three-pointer. Long one. No good. Rebound taken out of there by Bovey for the Vikings. She's on the left side. Feeds it out to Goodell between the circles. Goodell spins in the lane and gets it to Bovey, and she hit two. Jordan Bovey with two. Mounders have it. Allie Roeder. Shot goes up, and she got fouled. That's by Sierra Shipman. And that's going to send Allie Roeder to the line. And we want to welcome to the microphone Jay Fall, who has been journeying all over the place.
Putting on some miles today.
First shot is up and good by Roeder. Second shot up. That one's in and out, no good. Rebound being battled for. Shot goes up by Robo, and she got fouled. Foul up by Hajdukovic. That's Clara's second team foul on the Vikings. Or check that, third team foul. First free throw is no good. Second free throw, that one's good. So Vikings up by 1, 3-2. Goodell with it, feeds it over to the near side to Hajdukovic. To Bovey, back out to Shipman, to Goodell. To Bovey at the top of the key. To Hajdukovic on the right side. She brings it out high to Shipman, to Goodell. Back out to Bovey. Bovey over to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic to Goodell between the circles. Over to Shipman, to Hajdukovic down in the right corner. Feeds it along the baseline to Sikora. Sikora gets it over to Shipman. Shot got blocked, and they get it back out to Goodell. Sikora has it, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Isabella Konshog. That'll be her first personal, second team foul. Now the scoreboard's got it right. Team fouls are even at 2 each. Shot went up, no good. Rebound by the Vikings, no good. Put back is up and in and out, no good. Shipman had one go halfway down, and then it got rejected. Shizik with it, gets it over to Roeder. Roeder at the free throw line. Gets it back out to Konshog. Over to Shizik. Shizik drives into the lane. Ball gets knocked away and tied up. We're going to get a jump ball call. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Goodell has it. A little bit of pressure being put on by the Mounders. Goodell takes it over to the right wing. Out high to Bovey. Bovey drives down, gets it out to Goodell. Goodell high, wide, and right. Over to Bovey on the left. Back to Hajdukovic, and then to Shipman on the left side. To Goodell at the top of the key. She backs up a little bit. To Shipman. To Hajdukovic. Into the lane to Sikora. Went off her leg and tied up. Possession arrow in favor of the Mounders. 3-2, Vikings on top. 13:59 to go in half number one. Shizik takes the ball across the timeline. Over to Roeder on the near side. Takes it to the free throw line. Then back out high to Konshog. And then to Shizik. Shizik drives into the lane, kicks it out to Roeder, who circles into the lane. They try to feed it down underneath. We're going to get a whistle and off a foot of a Viking.
Yeah, it looks like it went off the foot of Bryn Sikora.
And the ball comes in. Meyer has it on the near side, gets it out to Shizik. Shizik at the top of the key now. Over to Roeder. Roeder takes it down on the left side, feeds it out to Roble, to Shizik. Takes it into the lane, puts the shot up, it's no good. Rebound, tied up. Jump ball, and it'll be Viking ball. Both teams are looking like they want to scrap tonight.
The neighborhood rivalry going on.
Long pass down the floor. Shipman, a shot got blocked. Good hustle on defense that time by Allie Roeder to get back and block that shot, because that was a touchdown pass from Sikora to Shipman, and they didn't make the touchdown. We have substitution. Claire Roth is in for the Mounders, giving Meyer a break. Goodell feeds it over to Bovey. Back to Goodell at the top of the key. To Shipman on the right side, to Bovey from the right corner. Missed the three. And ball gets taken away by Shipman. She puts it up, no good. And the Mounders come away with it. Shizik on the dribble. Feeds it down to the near side. This is Roble. Back out to Shizik. Shizik drives to the lane, puts it up. It rolls around. No, she gets her own rebound. She fights for it. Shot got blocked by Hajdukovic. Shizik chased it down to Roble. Then out to Roeder. Between Roble and Roeder, I'm going to be very confused tonight. Roble has it as she drives into the lane. Ball got knocked away by the Vikings, and down the floor comes Goodell. They tried to feed it across the lane to Shipman, and it got tapped away by the Mounders. Both teams playing really tough defense right now. Shizik with it. Feeds it over to the far side to Roeder. Roeder tries to feed it underneath, and ball gets taken away by Bovey. She's got it on her own. She tries to lay it up. It goes in. Jordan Bovey with two puts the Vikings up 5-2. Shizik has it on the near side. Takes it out to the top of the key. Over to the far side. And they get it down into the corner. And
Roeder stepped on the end line.
And the Vikings force a turnover. One of the things Coach Serrar has said many times is they don't want to give up the baseline. Long pass down to Shipman, who this time decides not to drive in. Then the ball got knocked loose. She puts it up and puts it in. And a timeout on the floor as the Mounders want to talk it over. 11:13 to go. It's Vikings 7, Mounders 2, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Back here at Elk Mound High School, Rick Olson along with Jay Fall. Dan Petchow running the camera for us tonight. And the Vikings have opened up a 7-2 lead. Really strong defense being played by both teams.
And both teams keeping it up tempo.
Roeder has it. She gets it out high to Shizik between the circles. Drives into the lane, spins, gets it back out to Roeder. Thought about a 3, but didn't take it. She hands it on off to Koshkong. Back to Shizik, and we have an offensive foul being called on the Mounders. And that's going to be on Claire Roth. That's her first personal, third team foul on the Mounders. So Goodell has the ball for the Vikings. She crosses the timeline. Feeds it over to the near side. They get it out high to Sikora. Sikora to Bovey. High, wide, and right. Free throw line extended right now to Goodell. Goodell on the dribble. Hands it off to Hurlbert. Sikora has it. Shot went up by Bovey and got blocked out of bounds by the Mounders. So the Vikings will retain possession. Vikings looking to inbound it. And a 5-second violation. No, we get a timeout called by the Vikings before the violation. So we'll take one as well as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Vikings leading the unbeaten Elk Mound Mounders 7-2 with 10:16 to go in the first half. Goodell looking to get it in. Finally gets it into Bovey at the top of the key. Back to Goodell. Goodell spins in the lane, gets it back out to Bovey, puts up a three. She hit the three! Jordan Bovey makes it 10-2, Vikings on top.
7 points for her.
Mounders have it on the near side. This is Roeder. She takes it into the lane. Feeds it underneath to Roble, and she dribbled it on the baseline. It's going to go to the Vikings.
Colfax doing a great job of defending that end line, Rick.
And that is part of the game plan that Coach Serrar has for the Vikings. Kendra Garnett into the lineup for the Mounders. Goodell has the ball across the timeline, feeds it over to Bovey. Bovey with another three off the front of the iron. Shizik with the ball across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side to Roeder. Then to Garnett, to Shizik. Shizik drives to the free throw line, gets it out to Roeder. Thought about the three, didn't take it. Shizik with it. Over to Garnett on the near side. Cross-court pass over to Roeder, to Shizik. Shizik takes it into the lane. The lane's cut off, out to Roeder, three-pointer. She hit it. Allie Roeder with a three. 10-5, Vikings up by 5. Goodell with it. She hands it off to Lyric Nichols, who gets it to Bovey, and a pass off the hands of Shipman and out of bounds. I think that was a blocked shot that Shipman tried to grab. We'll call it a pass. Anyway, it went out of bounds, and the Mounders have it. Shizik to bring it across the timeline. Over to Kongshog. Then back out high. Three-pointer on the way. No good by Roeder. Rebound put back up and in. That's by Meyer. Haley Meyer. Goodell with it. Gets it out to Nichols. Over to Bovey. Vikings on top 10-7. Sikora has it. She backs out, gets it to Bovey, puts it up. They're going to say she traveled before the ball went through.
Colfax, number 44, Clara Hadukovic.
Hadukovic back into the lineup for the Vikings. Mounders have it. Roeder drives the baseline. She put that one up and in. Vikings gave her too much room that time, and she took advantage. Cuts the Viking lead to 1, 10-9. Goodell feeds it to Hadukovic. Back out to Goodell. Thought about the three. Didn't take it to Nichols. Nichols to Hadukovic on the right side to Goodell in the right corner. Tries the baseline. Spins. Puts the shot up off the side of the backboard. Gets it out to Sikora. Back to Goodell. Goodell into the lane. Puts it up. It won't fall. Rebound taken down by the Mounders, and they're looking to take the lead. Shizik with the ball. Feeds it over to Roeder. Roeder at the free throw line and backs back out. Now drives down the right side of the lane. To Meyer, to Shizik. Shizik down the left side. Spins, takes it back out. Long three-pointer, in and out, no good. Rebound off the Mounders. It went off of Roble, and it's going to be Viking ball. Sikora gets it into Goodell. Under 6.5 to go in the first half. Low scoring defensive game tonight. Sikora has it high wide right. Ball got knocked away, and here come the Mounders back down the floor. To Roeder. Roeder at the free throw line, drives into the lane, kicks it back out, shots up no good. Rebound taken down by Meyer. She puts a shot up and off the glass and in. And the Mounders take a 1-point lead, 11-10.
4 points for Haley Meyer.
Vikings have it. Bovey with it. Gets it over to Goodell. Goodell takes it over to the right side. Now she backs out again. To Nichols. Then to Sikora. And her pass went a little wide, but Bovey chased it down. To Goodell, who drives in, puts it up. Shot got blocked. It goes out of bounds. And it bounced off the back of Goodell before it hit out of bounds. And so the Mounders will get the ball. Goodell was laying flat on the floor, and the ball came down and hit her on the back, which is out of bounds off of Goodell. Shizik feeds it over to the near side to Roeder. Roeder drives into the lane, puts a shot up, and it's good. It's an 11-0 run. It's an 11-0 run for the Mounders. As Goodell has the ball, feeds it over to the near side to Shipman, then to Hadukovic. Back out to Bovey. Bovey out to the top of the key with Goodell. Goodell to Sikora, three-pointer on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound taken down by Meyer for the Mounders. To Shizik, then down to Roble. Roble drives the baseline, feeds it back out high. Roeder drives the lane, puts it up, it's no good. Rebound right through the Mounders' hands, and Goodell grabs it. Takes it down into the corner to Bovey. Bovey out to Sikora. And they're going to say Sikora walked with it. So the Mounders will get it back. 4:16 remaining in half number one. Elk Mound on top of the Vikings, 13-10. Roeder has it on the near side. She takes it into the circle and over to the far side. Shizik now has it at the free throw line. Back out to Roble. Then to Kongshog from the corner. She hit the three. Isabella Kongshog. And timeout called by the Vikings as the Mounders have opened up a 16-10 lead. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform and attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. Back here at Elk Mound High School, 3:52 remaining in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have our Viking profile today. It will be Layla Hurlbert that we'll get to know. Bryn Sikora to inbound the ball for the Vikings. Mounders putting full court pressure on. Goodell bringing it down the floor. She gets it across the timeline, feeds it to Shipman, who throws it down to Sikora, but it was just out of her reach. So it'll be Mounder ball. Shizik on the ball. Feeds it over to the near side to Roeder. Roeder drives down toward the baseline, turns around, puts it up, and it goes in. 18-10, Mounders have opened up an 8-point lead.
That's 10 points for Roeder.
Goodell gets the ball across the timeline. Fans wanted a double dribble, and I'm not sure they're wrong. Bovey with it, high, wide, and right. To Goodell between the circles. To Shipman, top of the key. Feeds it over to Bovey. She wants people to come out high. To Goodell. Goodell takes it to the right side, hands it off to Shipman, who gives it to Bovey. To Sikora. To Shipman, lays it up and in. A reverse layup by Sierra Shipman. She found the baseline and put it in. Hopefully ended the drought for the Vikings. 18-12. Kongshog on the near side. She's at the right elbow, gets it out to Roeder. Roeder hands it off to Shizik. Shizik coming back around to the right side to Kongshog on the right wing. Feeds it down underneath to Meyer. She puts it up, it's no good. Rebound by the Vikings. Cross court pass to Shipman, puts up a three, no. And the Mounders bring it back down the floor. Kongshog with it. On the left side, gets it to Shizik. Over to the right side to Roeder, I should say. Now it goes to Kongshog. Ball's picked up by Shizik. Drives into the lane, kicks it out to Roeder. She puts up a three and hit it. I'll tell you what, Jay, you cannot leave her open.
2 threes for Roeder.
Goodell with it, over to the left side to Bovey. Drives into the lane, lays it up, it won't fall. Shipman with the putback, and it goes in.
Sarah Shipman's got 6.
I spoke all over you there. Did you say Shipman has 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Shizik has it, gets it to Meyer. Meyer was all alone on the baseline, and she put it off the glass and put it in. Hajdukovic got a little bit lost out higher than she wanted to be, I believe. Shipman over to Bovey. Bovey takes it out high to Goodell. Over to Hajdukovic, high, wide, and right. She flips it out to Goodell, then to Shipman, back to Goodell. To Bovey. Vikings being very deliberate. About 16 seconds remaining in the first half. Goodell with it. Under 10. Goodell feeds it down underneath. Bovey tries to put it up, put it in, and the shot goes up by Shipman. No good, and that brings us to halftime. So the score at half, Mounders 23, Vikings 14, and coming up next will be Viking halftime. Right after this quick timeout, as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know about Layla Hurlbert. And Layla, you are a junior here at Colfax?
Yes.
Okay. And we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
I started the school newspaper.
Very good. And what do they call a school newspaper?
The Viking Post.
Okay. When did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I think third grade, and it's been really good. My favorite sport, for sure.
Okay. What's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Communication and teamwork.
It's pretty critical trying to run those plays on the floor if you're not communicating with each other.
Yeah.
And it's not always verbal, is it?
No. Okay. Eye contact.
Okay. So when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you busy or occupied?
I do stuff on the farm, and I work at Fleet Farm, too.
Okay. All right. All right, now here's our trademark question.
Okay.
Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
Which kind?
Pecan.
Oh, good choice. Yeah. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
Brat.
And what do you want in that brat?
Everything.
Everything. Kraut, too?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just the way I like them. Yeah, load them up. Favorite color and why?
Green. I like summer. I like just how it looks on trees and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, we do Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. One of the most amazing greens is when we're up in the press box looking down at the field, and that ballpark is just, yeah, I can understand your love of green. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be?
Speed.
Okay, super speed. And so if you have super speed, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Layla's superhero name?
Speedy Layla.
Speedy Layla. I can live with that one. Your favorite NBA or WNBA team?
The Bucks.
Okay, how about a college team?
Badgers.
All right. If you could sit down with a sports personality from any time in history, any sport, whatever, that you could just sit down and pick their brain and maybe have a meal together or something, who do you think that might be?
Giannis.
Okay, and what about Giannis would interest you?
He's really funny, and he comes from a different country, which is pretty cool.
Okay, all right.
So we're talking with Layla Hurlbert today on Viking Profile, and what are your plans for after high school?
I'm going to school for journalism, probably at Eau Claire CVTC for my generals, and I'm not quite sure from there, but we'll see.
Okay. How about a shout out to the family?
Shout out Dad, Mom, Emma, my other siblings, too many to name.
Okay. And so when people watch Viking games, where should they look for you on the floor?
Number 14, hopefully not on the bench, but I can't promise that. Maybe on the bench.
And look for those fancy new shoes.
Yeah, fancy new pink shoes too.
Okay. All right. And we want to thank Layla Hurlbert for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal him from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
Kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
And we're back here at Elk Mound High School. Rick Olson, Jay Fall, Dan Petchow on the camera. And the Vikings are trailing the Mounders 23-14. Jay, pretty quick, what do we got for scores?
For the Vikings, leading scorer is Jordan Bovey. She's got 7. Sierra Shipman's got 6. 1 point for Kaysen Goodell. Nobody really in foul trouble, just 2 fouls for the Vikings. For the Mounders, 13 points for Allie Roeder, including 2 threes. Haley Meyer is right behind her with 6. And 3 points for Isabella Conshog, 1 for Allie Robel. Mounders went on an 11-0 run to get back into this one as Colfax led early.
Yeah, in fact, the Vikings had a 10-2 lead, and since then it's been 21-4. All Mounders. And the Mounders will have the ball to start the second half. Waiting for the Vikings to come out on the floor. And we're still waiting for the Vikings. See what kind of adjustments they made during halftime. You know, they came out really intense to start the game and opened up that 10-2 lead. Now they just have to get some of that intensity back. Shizik has the ball for the Mounders, who are now traveling right to left. Gets it to Meyer, to Roeder. She's on the right side, then feeds it across court, now down to Kongshog on the near side, back out to Roeder, to Shizik. Shizik drives into the lane, feeds it over to Roeder on the left. She takes it toward the lane, feeds it out to Shizik at the top of the key. Takes it into the lane, now out to Roeder. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. That's going to be on Kaysen Goodell. That's her first personal. First team foul on the Vikings. So Roeder to inbound, gets it to Shizik. Being closely guarded by Goodell. Shizik takes out a little bit high. Then feeds it out to Roeder. Roeder back across at the top of the key to Kongshog on the right side, and an offensive foul being called. I believe it's a moving screen. I think that's going to be a foul on Allie Robel. And that's her first team foul on the Mounders. Mounders putting on full court pressure. Goodell has the ball for the Vikings. Coming through the backcourt. Just token pressure being put on by Shizik. And the ball gets taken away. Goodell kind of lost the handle on it, and Shizik has it over on the right side to Roeder. Roeder drives into the lane, stops, looks out to the outside. They get it over to Shizik on the near side. She backs out at the top of the key to Roeder. Roeder feeds it down to the right side to Kongshog. Kongshog drives to the lane, gets it back out to Roeder. Three-pointer on the way, off the iron, no good. Sikora gets the rebound for the Vikings, and she's going to dribble it out of trouble. Gets across the timeline. Takes it into the lane. Out to Shipman, puts up the shot. Off the back of the iron, no good. And down come the Mounders. Roeder with it, drives into the lane, feeds it underneath the Meyer. She missed the bunny, puts it back up, no good. She gets her own rebound again and puts that one back up. That one finally goes down. You give her 3 chances in there, she's going to make one of them.
Third time's a charm. 6 points. 8 points.
Goodell takes it into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken away by the Mounders. Shizik with it over on the right side, circles back out. Cross-court pass over to Roeder. She takes it out to the top of the key, then to Shizik, over to Kongshog. Kongshog to Roeder, to Shizik, high, wide, and left. Tries to drive in, can't get anywhere. Picks up her dribble, gets it out to Roeder on the right side. They've got it to Kongshog. Stops at the elbow. Down low, then feeds it across. And we're going to get a whistle. And we got a foul on the Vikings. That's on Sierra Shipman. That's her second personal. Second team foul. Layla Hurlburt into the lineup for Hajdukovic. Pass comes in to Roble. Roble drives down, puts up the shot, partially blocked, got her own rebound and puts it back up and in. 27-14, Mounders on top. Hurlburt with it. Hands it off to Bovey, puts it up, and she ran into a lot of traffic. Couldn't get the ball to go. Down the floor come the Mounders. Roeder has it, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think that's going to be on Shipman again. That's going to be foul number 3.
Foul number 30, Sierra Shipman, that's her third.
And Dan has lost his camera for a second there.
In for Colfax, number 24, Garrett Nichols.
So, Roeder has it over to Shizik on the near side. Now the shot goes in. 29-14. Mounders on top. Into the lane comes Nichols, gets it out to Hurlburt, then back to Nichols. She can't get it to go up and in. We're going to get a jump ball called. Roble and Nichols had it tied up. (29-14). Vikings looking for their first points of the second half. Long pass comes in to Sikora. Sikora gets it over to Goodell at the top of the key. Goodell over to Nichols, to Sikora with a three-pointer off the back of the air, no good. Shizik quickly down the floor, drives into the lane, ran into traffic, and foul on the floor. It's going to be a foul, I believe, on Sikora. Yes, a foul on Bryn Sikora. Her fourth team foul on the Vikings. Shizik with the ball, got knocked out of her hands, and last touch by Shizik. Goodell got over there and put some pressure, knocked it out of her hands, and trying to recover it, Shizik lost the ball out of bounds. Goodell with the ball, quickly across the timeline on the left side. To Nichols, feeds it down to the left side of the lane to Sikora. Shot's partially blocked. Sikora feeds it underneath to Bovey, puts it up, and she got fouled going up.
Fouls on Elk Mound number 2, Allie Roble.
Allie Roble is charged with her second foul of the night. Second team foul on the Mounders. Jordan Bovey at the line. First shot on the way, it's good. There, she made sure they didn't put a lid on top of the basket.
Yeah, Vikings have been putting up some shots, but they just have not dropped.
Well, and they're having a hard time even getting the shots to the iron. There's a lot of arms for those shots to go through. Second shot on the way and good. 29-16, Vikings trailing by 13. Shizik with it. Takes it over to the right side. She's high, wide, and right now. Dribbles back to the top of the key. Gets it to Roeder. Roeder gets the ball knocked away, but they're going to call a foul on Bovey reaching in. That's her first personal. 15 foul on the Vikings.
That's her first.
Shizik on the dribble. Gets it over to Roble at the elbow. Back out to Shizik on the right side to Roeder at the top of the key. She drives down the left side of the lane to Roble out high. She drives into the lane, puts it up, and rolls in. Allie Roble. You know, it's not only Roble and Roeder, but they both have Allie for their first name. They're thoroughly trying to confuse me. Bovey tries to go in. We're going to get a blocking foul called, and Bovey's a little slow getting up off the floor.
Fouls on number 33, Claire Roth. In for Elk Mound.
Roth, second foul.
Yeah, Claire Ruff on the foul. That's a third on the Mounders. Bovey gets it in to Hurlbert, to Goodell, to Bovey. She's on the near side, to Sikora at the top of the key, to Nichols, then to Bovey. She dribbles out and hands it off to Hurlbert, who gives it to Goodell. Goodell at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the left side to Bovey, down into the corner to Sikora. Sikora drives the baseline. Gets it out to Nichols. Nichols thought about a three. Drives in, feeds it back out to Goodell. She lays it up and puts it in. She split the defense and found her way to the rim. 31-18, Vikings trailing. Roeder with it. Gets it out to Garnett, to Shizik. Shizik at the top of the key. Back over to Roeder. Roeder at the top of the key, drives down the right side, feeds it across the baseline to Roble. Back out high to Garnett, to Roeder. Roeder at the top of the key over to Shizik. Shizik to Garnett. Garnett into the lane, puts it up. It's no good. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be on Nichols. And it is.
Foul number 24, Lyra Nichols.
I think that's the first on Nichols.
Yeah, that's what I have.
And the first shot by Garnett is good.
In for Colfax, number 44, Clara Hajdukovic.
Hajdukovic and Shipman back into the lineup for the Vikings for Nichols, or check that, for Sikora and Hurlbert. Shot goes up, rims around, no good, and Hajdukovic gets the rebound. Goodell across the timeline, feeds it over to the right side to Bovey. Bovey drives down, tries to go baseline, puts it up, shot got blocked, and we're going to get a jump ball called. Possession arrow to the Mounders. Shizik takes it right through the Elk Mound Castle on the floor. And they feed it over to the right side. Shizik gets it back, takes it into the lane, feeds it out to Roble. Roble takes it into the lane, kicks it out to Garnett to Shizik in the right corner. Shizik on the dribble, she brings it out high, wide, and right. Then down to Garnett from the corner, three-pointer's no good. Bovey with the rebound for the Vikings. To Goodell. Goodell to Sikora, looking for help. And the ball got tipped out of bounds, and it'll be Viking ball.
In for Elk Mound, number 4, Bell Congshaw.
Congshaw back into the lineup for the Mounders, replacing Garnett. Bovey gets it into Hajdukovic. Back to Bovey. Out to Goodell. Goodell over to Shipman on the far side. Shipman feeds it out to Hajdukovic. And to Goodell from the baseline. Puts it up, no good. Rebound taken out of there by the Mounders. Feeds it over to Kongshaw. Three-pointer on the way. Off the iron, no good. Hajdukovic with a good, strong rebound that time. And tries to feed it out. We're going to get a foul called on the Mounders. Fouls on Haley Meyer.
That's her second.
Second personal on Meyer. Fourth team foul on the Mounders. Shipman with the ball. Vikings down by 14. Bovee to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic takes it into the lane, then feeds it to Shipman, puts it up, no. Sikora puts it up, and it crawls in. Finally, one fell for the Vikings. 32-20.
First points of the night for Sikora.
Roeder with it. She hands it off to Shizik. Shizik over to Kongshog. Kongshog to Meyer on the baseline. And we're going to get an injury timeout for Kongshog. She went down kind of hard and came up limping. And so we get a timeout on the floor with the Mounders 32, Vikings 20. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Back here at Elk Mound High School, Vikings trailing 32-20 to the Mounders who have the ball. Ellie Shizik out way high on the right side. Feeds it over to the left side to Kongshog, who appears no worse for wear from her tumble. Pass over to the right side to Kongshog, to Meyer, to Roeder, to Shizik. She's free throw line left. Now she takes it out between the circles to Roeder, to Meyer, to Kongshog, to Shizik. Shizik drives down to the baseline, circles back out high again. Mounders in no rush. Meyer has it. Hands it off to Shizik. To Roeder. Drives into the lane, feeds it back out to Kongshog. To Shizik, back to Kongshog. Mounders doing a really good job of running clock here. Shizik has it, high, wide, and right. To Robel. To Roeder. To Meyer. To Shizik. Kongshog's ball gets taken away by Sikora. Fought for on the floor. We're going to get a jump ball called. And it'll be Viking ball. That was almost a wrestling match that broke out that time.
Takedown each.
Goodell with it. Takes it to the free throw line. Backs out between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to Shipman. Shipman to Hajdukovic. Over to Goodell. Goodell at the top of the key. Over to Sikora. Another over on the left side to Bovee to Sikora. She gets trapped down below, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Bovee, although she took the worst for wear on that one. That's her second personal.
That's her second.
And that's the seventh team foul, so it's going to put Allie Robel to the line for the 1-on-1. 7:24 remaining in this game, 32-20. It's been a defensive struggle both ways. Shot goes up, Back of the iron, straight up in the air and down through the hoop. So she gets the bonus. Allie Robles' shot is good. 34-20. Goodell across the timeline. Feeds it down into the corner to Shipman. Then to Bovey, puts up the three. No. Rebound chased down by the Mounders. And we're going to get a timeout call by the Mounders with 7:10 to go. And you're tuned to Viking Basketball on NLWN-TV.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Back here at Elk Mound High School, Vikings have got their work cut out for them. 34-20, 14-point game. Mounders have the ball, and they get it in to Shizik. And to Roeder. Vikings putting on full court pressure to Shizik. Shizik across the timeline. To Kongshog, over to Roeder. Roeder at the top of the key, over to Kongshog to Shizik on the near side. Drives down to the baseline, takes it through the baseline, gets it up to Kongshog, three-pointer, and it's good. Velish Kongshog with the three-pointer.
Her 6 points have come from 2-3.
Bovey with it between the circles for the Vikings. Takes it into the lane, puts the shot up. No good. Rebound taken down by the Mounders. Shizik feeds it over to the right side. This is Roeder to Roble. To Shizik. To Roeder. Out to Kongshog. To Shizik on the right side. To Goodell. To Kongshog. To Roble. To Meyer. Meyer puts the shot up and it rolls in. Meyer got a little bit of shooter's roll that time, and it went in.
12 points for her.
Goodell with it, takes it down the baseline, reverse layup, got partially blocked. And down the floor comes Shizik to Roeder, to Roble. Now they swing it around to the right side, Shizik with it, and we're gonna get a foul. 5:32 remaining, foul is gonna be on Goodell. That's foul number 2 on Goodell.
That's her second foul. In for Colfax, number 24, Lyric Nichols.
Nichols is in for Hajdukovic. First shot is on the way, and it rolls in.
I think it touched all of the rim.
At least once, and maybe twice on some of them. Second shot on the way. That one bounces out. So it'll be Viking ball. Trailing by 20. Shipman puts up the three. It's off the mark. And the rebound by the Mounders. What the Vikings can't afford are one and dones. They've got to get some offensive boards. Kongshog to Roble. Out to Shizik, high, wide, and right. To the free throw line to the right is Roeder. Drives down to the baseline. Tries to feed it over to Roble. It's off her foot and out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Sikora to inbound. Gets it out to Goodell. Goodell to the free throw line, lost the handle on the ball. And Shizik has it for the Mounders. To Kongshog, into the lane to Roeder, And picking up the loose ball is Nichols, feeds it over to Sikora.
While falling.
Sikora now out between the circles as she backs up a little. Gets it to Goodell. Goodell still between the circles, feeds it over to Nichols on the right side. Feeds it out to Bovey. Then to Sikora, tries to go baseline, can't, pulls back, jumper's no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds by Shipman, and it'll be Mounder ball. Roeder into Shizik, back to Roeder. Roeder quickly to Roble. Roble down the lane, feeds it underneath to Meyer. Meyer trying to get some room. She's double teamed down there, and the ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Goodell in some traffic, feeds it to Bovey, lays it up. She got fouled. Smart move by Bovey. She did not have a totally clear path, but she took it to the traffic and drew the foul. Foul's on Roeder. It's her first personal. 15 foul on the Mounders. Bovey at the line for 2. First shot is good. Bovey is a 60% free throw shooter. Second shot on the way. That's also good.
Bovey, the leading Vikings scorer, with 11.
And I think she's 4 for 4 from the line, right?
Yes, she is.
Shizik with it. Gets it out to Roble. Gets it across the timeline. Feeds it down to Meyer, who lays it up and in. Vikings putting on full court pressure, and the problem with that is if the team breaks it quickly, they oftentimes have a mismatch at the other end, and that's what happened. Pass over to Nichols. She couldn't handle it, and it went out of bounds. Nichols getting a lot of playing time for the freshman that she is. Ball comes in to Shizik. She brings it down the floor, across the timeline, gets it to Roeder. Roeder takes it over to the right side, down to the corner, drives the baseline. We're going to get a whistle, and I think it's going to be a foul on Bovey. It is. That's her third personal. 9th team foul on the Vikings. Gannett in for Kongshog for the Mounders. Allie Roeder at the line for the 1-on-1. First shot's good.
Allie Roeder led Elk Mound in the first half with 13. That is 14.
Here's her second shot, and it's good.
Now pulled ahead as the game's leading scorer, 15. Haley Meyer has 14.
Goodell feeds it over to Shipman. To Sikora, then to Goodell. Three-pointers no good. Rebound chased down by the Mounders. Robo one-on-one, and we're going to get a pretty serious contact there. No whistle, and she laid it in. Goodell on the dribble. Bovey with it. Sikora out to Bovey. Or check that, that's Goodell. Then back into Shipman, who drives in and lays it in. 47-23.
8 points for Sierra.
Shizik with it. 2:10 to go in the game. Garnett hands it off to Shizik. Shizik out between the circles. We're under 2 minutes remaining. To Roeder, to Garnett, to Shizik. Shizik weaves her way through and then goes back out between the circles again. To Garnett. Ball gets tipped but chased down by the Mounders. Robo to Shizik. Shizik gets it to Robo, out to Garnett. Garnett thought about the three. We've got a minute and a half to go. And we've got a tie up underneath. Jump ball. Mounders with the possession.
And for Elk Mound number 11, James Rowe, and number 31, Tegan Mayer.
So inbounding the ball is Jaden Sarar. And she gets it into Shizik. Shizik takes it out at the top of the key. Now they bring it around the right side. Sarar fed it over to Shizik. Shizik spins. She's double teamed. Gets it out to Ruff. Then Sarar puts up the shot. No good. Rebound being fought for on the ground. And it's a jump ball. Vikings with the possession arrow. Under a minute to go. This one's going to go in the wrong column for the Vikings. First conference loss for the Vikings. Long three up by Bovey is no good. It went out of bounds. 48.2 seconds remaining. Mounders have it. 47-23. And the Vikings empty the bench. Aiden Acker is in, along with Sophie Huzaga and Raina Keltner, along with Alexa Wiedner.
And number 15, Ellie Pesco.
Now the Mounders are working on emptying the bench as well. Layla Hurlbert is also out there on the floor for the Vikings. Mounders bring it down the floor. Freenak gets it over to Sarar. Feeds it over to the right side. They're going to just work the clock if I am correct about the way I'm looking at this. They get it out to Awe. And then over to Sarar. To Freenak. Ball gets taken away down the floor and laying it up, and it won't go. Wiedner. And down the floor come the Mounders. Freenak on the dribble. Gets it over to Sarar. Then back out high to Awe. To Freenak. They get it back out to Awe. And that's going to do it. Final score, Elk Mound Mounders 47, Vikings 24. And we will have more information about this on Viking Postgame right after this timeout as you're tuned to Viking Basketball on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
NLWN-TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Girls Vikings game will be on Thursday, December 19th, when the Vikings take on the Elma Plum City Wolves from Colfax High School. Coverage begins with Viking Pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on Thursday, December 19th on NLWN-TV.
NLWN2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, December 17th, when the Vikings travel to Spring Valley, Wisconsin to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. Coverage begins with Viking Pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on Tuesday, December 17th on NLWN2.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
We're back here at Elk Mound High School, where the Vikings have dropped a 47-24 decision to the Vikings. Rick Olson here along with Jay Fall. Dan Petchow has been running the camera tonight. And tough night for the Vikings. They played strong defense, but so did the Mounders. And it really showed with what the Vikings weren't able to do. Well, why don't you give us a tail of the tape there, Jay?
All right. Leading first for the visiting Vikings. The scoring leader was Jordan Bovey with 11. Sierra Shipman had 8. Bryn Sikora, a basket for 2. And Kaysen Goodell had 3. That totals 24. 14 points in the first half, 10 in the second half. The Lady Vikings were 5 of 6 from the free throw line. For the victorious Elk Mound Mounders, the scoring leader, Allie Roeder, with 15. Haley Meyerd followed her closely with 14. And then 9 for Allie Roble, 6 for Isabella Conshog, 2 for Ellie Shizik, and 1 point for Kendra Garnett, to total 47. The Mounders scored 23 in the first half and 24 in the second half, outscoring the Vikings 24-10 in the second half, and the Mounders 9 of 14 from the free throw line.
And that final score of 47-24 is also very similar to the junior varsity score, which the Mounders also won by a score of 45-23. So very consistent basketball tonight. The Vikings came out like gangbusters and opened up a 10-2 lead over the Mounders, but after a timeout, the Mounders made some adjustments, and after that, it was 45-14 was the scoring difference after that timeout, and that's basically what happened. And the Vikings really shouldn't hold their head at all. They played very strong defense. It's just the Mounders played a little better defense tonight.
And I think there were many shots when the Vikings got them that just didn't fall, bouncing out, missing the rim. And so the Mounders, very tough. Both teams scrapping for the ball. You know, they wanted the ball and wanted to play an up-tempo game throughout a lot of the game, and this good matchup.
And fortunately for the Vikings, they get another chance at him a little bit later on this year. Now, we're waiting to see if we're going to see Coach Serrar tonight, and I am, to be honest with you, not sure after a result like this whether we'll get her, but she's usually pretty good about it. So we're going to take a brief timeout, and then we'll see if we get Coach Serrar to stop by. And you're tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
Hi, Crystal here, and I'm one of Santa's elves. I just wanted to remind you to join us from the North Pole on Christmas Eve for the Northern Light Webcasting Network's Christmas gift to you. We will be featuring some of the finest and holiday-themed old-time radio programs from the golden days of radio. These will include Fibber McGee and Molly, The Jack Benny Show, Screen Guild Theater's production of A Christmas in Connecticut, and an episode of The Shadow. So, join us beginning at 7 p.m. Christmas Eve on NLWN-TV and NLWN2 for the Northern Light Webcasting Network's Christmas gift to you.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Well, we're back here at Elk Mound High School, and still looking, and I haven't seen any Viking players come out of the locker room yet, so they may be having a lengthy chat in that locker room. One of the things I did notice, Jay, in this game, when it came to going after loose balls after that 10-2 run that the Vikings made at the beginning of the game, the Mounders just seemed to step quicker at it. They were a little quicker at going for the loose ball. The Vikings would come down, and it was one and done almost every time down. Mounders out-rebounded the Vikings, and they just had a real difficult time getting second looks.
They probably, the Mounders probably stepped that up after that run about, just being a little quicker to the ball, a little more aggressive, and the position that they were in seemed to be, better than the Vikings tonight, just for able to get putbacks and the Vikings not being able to get offensive rebounds much.
So what's up next? Well,
Coach is on her way.
Do you see her?
I do. She's right here.
Oh, there she is. And joining us right now is Viking head coach Courtney Serrar, and that was a tough one tonight.
Yeah, I was disappointed, actually. I thought we got off to a really good start, and, like any good team, Elk Mound is a great team, and they, weathered our storm and went on a run of their own, and we did not handle that well. It seemed, our body language was bad. We just we could never put up a fight after that. We just kind of gave up, and that's unlike my kids, so I was pretty disappointed.
Although, as you said, you got to hand it to the Mounders, too, because this was a defensive struggle. Your girls played pretty decent defense against the Mounders, holding them to 20-something each half, and that's pretty good defense against a really good team. It's just that they really shut the Vikings down after that 10-2 run.
Yeah, our defense was good. I think, part of the reason why they didn't score as many points second half is because they, they were stalling and really trying to get a good look at the hoop. But, I thought first half was much better our first half of the first half. But second half, we just kind of seemed like we were just out there, like, going through the motions. Like, it didn't really, mean anything to us or anything like that. I would have liked to see a little bit more of a fight from our kids. And, like you said, they're well coached, they're disciplined, they try hard, they battle hard. There was definitely some bright points in there. We definitely held, most of their leading scorers under their average for sure. I think one of the things that bothers me the most is just when they just look like they gave up, and I cannot handle that as a coach because I preach to just never give up, whatever happens. So we got to learn to, fight through some of that stuff a little bit better.
Well, it is a long season and a long time to get that all figured out, and that's all going to start next Thursday when you get to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. What do you know going into the Wolves?
I know that they're a really young, really inexperienced team. They really struggle, kind of. I don't think they won a game last year, and I think they're on that track again. So it definitely won't be anything like tonight. But again, like you said, this is just a learning experience for us. At least I hope my kids learn from it. And we just got to head into practice Monday and next week and just try to get better.
I used to work with a football coach that always had the saying,
be careful, please.
A lot of classy and a little bit of nasty. And sometimes when we're down underneath there battling for the ball, it just seems like sometimes we're just a little too nice. And you got to grab that ball like it's yours and nobody's going to take it from you.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, maybe next Thursday it's a make things right game and get some of those things out of the system and Vikings can turn things around. Thank you for joining us tonight, Coach Serrar, and good luck on Thursday. And we will be back with more Viking postgame right after this time out on NLWN-TV.
When people are fed,
hey, Courtney.
Futures are merged.
Adorable, though.
They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Well, Jay, any final thoughts?
Well, I think this is, as Courtney said, a good learning experience for her ladies, and they can take this with them now, knowing what they've got to, keep going on and keep going down the tough Dunn St. Croix Conference schedule.
And they have an opportunity to get that flowing in the right direction next Thursday. Make sure you join us on Thursday, December 19th on NLWN-TV as we bring you Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. The Vikings will take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. Our coverage will begin with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m., followed by live play-by-play action. Also join us on Tuesday, December 17th. On NLWN2 as we bring you Colfax Viking boys basketball as the boys will travel to Spring Valley High School to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. Coverage in that one will begin with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action. And don't forget to join us on NLWN-TV and NLWN2 for our annual Christmas gift to you, where we bring you some of the finest holiday-themed old-time radio programs. This year we'll be featuring Fibber McGee and Molly, the Jack Benny Show, Screen Guild Theater's presentation of Christmas in Connecticut, and an episode of The Shadow. We'll bring you our Christmas gift to you on Christmas Eve, December 24th at 7 p.m. on both NLWN-TV and NLWN2. Also, please don't forget, coming up on January 6th, the Northern Light Webcasting Network will broadcast our 500th event. Be sure to stay tuned for special announcements and special awards for our loyal viewers. That's all coming up January 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. This reminder that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultant, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT providers for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball. Make sure you do a little bit of business with them, because they're the reason we can bring these games to you right here on NLWN-TV. So for Jay Fall and Dan Petcho on the camera, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, Elk Mound Mounders 47, Vikings 24. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV. Okay, we can break it down.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls games. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.